Hello, this is Isa, 35-year-old engineer living in Ankara. I'd like to share with you the ailments I've been experiencing for 5.5 years, what I've been going through during this time and how my disease process has progressed. In the summer of 2018, I attended a countryside wedding where I was bitten by countless flies. So many flies had bitten me that the color of my skin itself was not visible from the red fly bite marks on my legs. I thought I was allergic to this and did not go to the doctor. About a month later, I started to develop a rash on my face similar to a red wound. I thought I was allergic to the sun and waited for it to pass and did not go to the doctor for a while. When another month passed, my rashes increased to almost cover my whole face and I went to a dermatologist. The necessary tests were performed and my ANA value was negative. I was treated with several pomades and ointments. When the rashes did not go away after using the medication, I went for a checkup and the same tests were repeated. This time my ANA value was weakly positive and a biopsy was performed on the rashes with the suspicion of discoid lupus and the biopsy results were compatible with discoid lupus and I was referred to a rheumatologist for further treatment. During this time, I started waking up tired, not wanting to get out of bed and not wanting to do anything. My teeth started to ache, I started to feel numbness in the skin above my left knee and the soles of my feet started to hurt when I walked. I also developed a hard, small swelling below the knee on my left leg, which was later diagnosed as erythema nodosum, and I started to have joint pain in my hips, knees and fingers. With all these complaints, I went to a well-known rheumatology doctor and again, but this time I was given much more detailed tests, detailed allergy tests. In these tests, my ANA value was positive and my diagnosis was updated as systemic lupus. I was referred to physical therapy for the numbness in my leg and to a dentist for the pain in my teeth. I started using colchicine for systemic lupus and I was seeing my rheumatologist once a month. After having the necessary tests for the numbness in my leg, I was diagnosed with myalgia paresthetica and was told that if I lost weight, this problem would go away. For my teeth, I had 4 teeth extracted because they said that my teeth may have become inflamed due to tooth decay, so my lymph nodes around my jaw may have swollen and that extracting the teeth would solve the problem radically. In the meantime, I continued to use colchicine. The number of erythema nodosum in my body increased to 10 in 2 months and my pain increased. In my rheumatology control, it was concluded that the drug was insufficient and hydroxychloroquine and corticosteroid treatment was started and COVID-19 entered our lives. Meanwhile, the rashes on my face started to disappear. Even if they did not disappear completely, there was a great improvement, but the intensity of my pain and the area I felt started to increase. Meanwhile, I started to suffer from diarrhea constantly. With COVID-19, I stopped going for checkups. At the same time I started to think that the treatment was not very effective, because the pain, numbness and malaise did not go away, and I started to be very clumsy. I was constantly dropping the plates in my hands, it was very difficult to chop something while cooking, I could not even hold the tray in both hands and carry something very light. I decided to go to another doctor. This time I went to a doctor who was both an immunologist and a rheumatologist. I don't need to tell you the tests, they were all done from scratch. As a result of the tests, I was diagnosed with both systemic lupus and Sjögren's. The same treatment was again deemed appropriate and I continued to take the same medication, to be checked in 6 months. Meanwhile, one of my family members came across an article in the newspaper and shared with me that Lyme disease can be confused with lupus and other rheumatologic diseases. Then, when I asked my doctor at my next checkup if this could happen, he said no, you have lupus. Then I continued my treatment and medication. The rashes on my face were going on for better and worse, and although I used the medication regularly, I still had very painful periods from time to time. Again, I lost faith in the treatment, because it was not progressing like a treatment. I decided not to take the medication. There was not a big change in my life, I still had the same amount of pain, but the rashes on my face had improved. Every now and again I would get into a dilemma and start taking the medication, and when I didn't see any benefit, I would stop taking it after a month, and another year passed in this way. In September 2023, when I was going to Istanbul, my husband shared Professor Turhan's social media account with me. He said that we would not lose anything. You have already been to 38 doctors so far, go to this one, it is very unlikely, but we will lose some time and money, and we made an appointment with Professor Turhan. He did the necessary tests after my long story and said that I can say that you have Lyme disease. We started antibiotic treatment and I am in the 3rd month of treatment. In the 1st month, my pain has almost disappeared, the rashes on my face have almost disappeared, the numbness in my leg has decreased and I have started to do sports with a lot of energy. In this way, I will continue my treatment until the end. I thank Professor Turhan very much for saving me from this pain cycle.